Hello everyone. Now in this video lectures we are going to discuss about the important topic from pharmacology syllabus. It is pharmacokinetics. So what pharmacokinetics? That means the pharmaco means drug and kinetics or kinesis means the movement. Okay. So all about the movement of drugs. Simply transport of drug from one compartment to the another compartment, from one place to the another place, by depending on varying or different concentrations. Okay. So the simple definition of the pharmacokinetics is nothing but the study of absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion of the drugs. So in simple way, what the body does to the drugs, what body does to the drugs. When after the administration of drug, which type of effect produced by the drugs with the drugs is called as the pharmacokinetics. So simply the pharmacokinetics are divided into the four phases. First one is the ADME. That means the ADME. That means A for absorption, D for distribution, M for metabolism, or it is also called as the biotransformation, or E for the excretion. Okay. So these are the four different phases of the pharmacokinetics. So in that pharmacokinetics, there are the quantitative study. The pharmacokinetic, that means the quantitative study where the drugs are movement or the transfer from one place to the another place. So in that four stages, simply the movement of drug, simply the movement of drugs. Okay. So in this video lectures, we have discussed or we have talked about only the first stage of the pharmacokinetic, that means the absorptions. Okay. So what is the meaning of absorptions? So in that absorption, the drugs entry into the GIT or after the site of administration up to the or systemic circulation, up to the systemic circulation. That means the movement of drug from the site of administration to the systemic circulation is called as the absorption. So absorptions, simple way, in the absorption, the drugs are goes to the GIT in case of oral administrations, and they absorb into the bloodstream or systemic circulation. Bloodstream or systemic circulation. So in case of the drug goes into the systemic circulation after crossing the biological membranes. After the crossing of biological membranes. So biological membrane, or it is also part of the cell membrane. It is also part of the cell membranes. Okay. So when the drugs, in case of oral drugs or in case of any route of administration, the drugs are not achieve the 100% viability. Okay. So viability, what is the meaning of viability? So bioavailability, that means the viability, that means the rate and amount of drugs that reaches to the systemic circulations. How much quantity or how much concentration of drug are reaches in the systemic circulation or the reaches in the blood stream. So in case of oral administration, the drugs are cannot achieve the 100% viability or any other routes except intravenously. In case of intravenous administrations, drugs are directly injected into the systemic circulation. That's why it achieves the 100% viability. Only in case of intravenously it achieves 100% viability, but in remaining other route of drug administrations, they cannot possible to achieve the 100% viability. Okay. So in case of absorption, when oral route of administration drug goes to the GIT, then the drugs are they crosses the biological membrane, that means the cell membranes, and then reaches to the systemic circulation. In case of biological cholesterol. So these are the bilateral membrane are made up from the phospholipids and cholesterols. Okay, so the bilateral membrane having the 100 angstroms thickness. Okay, 100 angstrom thickness, where the bilateral membrane is also the intrinsic and extrinsic proteins. Intrinsic and extrinsic proteins are available. These are the special types of proteins. It act as a carrier to the drug molecules, or it act as a carrier to the drug molecule. So these are the special type of proteins. They carry the drug molecule from one side to the another sides of the membrane. So these are the detailed, or this membrane is made up from phospholipid. That is called as the, or that's why it's called as the lipoidal membranes. That's why it's called as the lipoidal membrane. So in case of lipoidal membrane, or in case of lipid soluble drugs, they easily cross by this membrane, because the membrane are made up from the phospholipid and cholesterol. That is the lipoidal membrane. That's why the lipid substances are easily cross the one another side, or reaches the systemic circulations. Okay, so these are the absorptions. So absorptions are done by the four different processes, by the four different processes, or by the four different mechanisms. First one is the first mechanism is the passive diffusion. Okay, first process, passive diffusions. Okay, second one is the active transport method, or active transport process. Okay, third one is the facilitated diffusion. Okay, facilitated diffusions. And lastly, fourth one is the endocytosis. Endocytosis. So these are the four important processes where the drugs are absorbed from the GIT to the systemic circulations, or drug absorbed by the four different processes or mechanisms. So we will discuss one by one. They are the process of the absorptions. In that first process, passive diffusions. Before the discussion about the passive diffusions, what is the meaning of diffusions? Okay, what is the meaning of diffusions? So what indicate diffusion? That means the diffuse, or the drug are transferred from one higher concentration to the lower concentration. So what diffusions is, that means the higher concentration drugs transferred to the lower concentration. That's called as the diffusions, or the transfer of the drugs. So in case of passive diffusion, near about 90% of drugs are absorbed by this process, or by the passive diffusion. That's why it's called as the simple diffusion, or it is also called as the simple diffusion. In this process, simply the cell is not actively involved. Cell are not actively involved to transport the drugs from one side to the another side. That's why they are not require any special type of energy. So in case of passive diffusion, is depend on the, or they propose drug diffusion of drugs is directly proportional to the concentration gradient. So it depend on the concentration gradient. So when higher concentration, okay, when higher concentration of drugs transfer to the lower concentration, higher concentration to the lower concentration, that is depend on the concentration gradient, or it is proportional to the concentration gradient. So it's a downhill process. It's a downhill process. Higher to lower. That's why it's the downhill process. That's why it not require any special type of energy to transfer the drugs, or to move the drugs from GIT to the systemic circulation. So it only depend on the concentration gradients. So in case of passive diffusions, near about 90% of drugs are diffused or absorbed by these processes. Okay, so this process are, or these passive diffusions are follow or obey the Fick's first law of kinetics. They follow the Fick's first law of kinetics. concentration in plasma. Okay, so the dq upon dt, that means the rate of diffusion, that means the rate of diffusion is equal to d, that means the diffusion coefficient, a, that means the actual surface area of the membranes, okay, or where the drugs is diffused. Then k or w, that means the partition coefficient, h, that means the thickness of the surface membrane, thickness of the biological membranes. Then concentrations of GIT minus concentration in a plasma. So the diffusion coefficient is the constant. So increase the absorbing surface area, ultimately increase the absorption. Partition coefficient, that means the higher the liquid solubility of drug, they easily crosses the barrier of membranes. Then its surface thickness of the surface area is also affected on the absorption of the drugs. And then concentration of the GIT minus concentration of the plasma. These are the fixed first law of the kinetics. So these passive diffusions are obeys the fixed first law of kinetics. So they, in case of passive diffusions, they always maintain the sink condition. That means they are the always drug transfer from one compartment to another compartment on the basis of the proportion of concentration gradients. They maintain the sink conditions. Sink conditions. Okay. So what is the meaning of that sink conditions? So sink condition, that means the drugs GIT. Okay. They transfer into the blood streams. Okay. Drugs are transferred into the blood streams. The drugs are transferred from GIT to the systemic circulations. In that systemic circulation, drugs are not remain constant. They are distributed rapidly to the various body compartments or various body tissue. That means the intercellular or the extracellular one. So that's why in case of or in the blood or the systemic circulation, the drug concentration of drug is always zero. It's called as the sink conditions, or this condition is called as the sink condition. That's why the passive diffusions, they are directly proportional to the concentration gradient. That means the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Drug are passes from higher concentration to the lower concentration. These are the simple passive diffusions for near about 90% of drugs. For example, alcohols, in urea, like their compounds, they are the diffuses or their passes or absorbed by this simple diffusion mechanism. So lipid soluble drugs are more soluble or more absorbed in the process. So lipid drugs or lipid soluble drugs are more absorbed in the passive diffusion. Here is not required any special type of energy to the passive diffusion. So we will talk about the next point of the or next process of the diffusions or the absorptions. So second one is the active transport process. In case of active transport process, where the drugs are transferred from one compartment to the another compartment, is also the depend on the concentration gradients. But in case of the active transport process, the drugs are transferred from lower concentration to the higher concentration. Lower concentration to the higher concentration. For example, various ions, sodium ions, potassium ions, or various organic acids, they are transferred by this or they are absorbed by this active transport mechanism. So active transport process. In this process, there the requires special type of energy. It requires a special type of energy because the drugs are transferred from lower concentration to the higher concentration. That's why the drugs are required. Actually, in this process, their high energy is required to transfer the drugs. So where the energy are obtained from the ATP, and then ATP is converted into the ADP. So ATP, that means the adenine triphosphates, and ADP, that means the adenine diphosphate. So the adenine triphosphate are converted into the adenine diphosphate due to the breakdown of the one phosphate molecules, and then energy get evolved or CO2 get evolved. So this energy is used in case of active transfer process to transport the drug from lower concentration to the higher concentration, where the carrier molecules where the carrier molecules are present at the top of at the surface of membrane, they carry the drug molecule from one side to the another side. That means when the carrier molecules are combined, these are the carrier molecules. They combine with the drug molecules. They combine with the drug molecule and form a complex. They form a complex, and this complex are carried to the another side of the membranes, and then dissociate or then release the drugs to the another side of the membranes, and the empty carrier are replace their original side to pick up the another molecule or to pick up the another drug. So in this process, for this process, it requires the energy. It requires the energy. That's why this process is requires a special type of energy, because in case of lower concentration drug, this are transferred from the higher concentration. So these are the simple active transfer process. In this process, where the charged molecules or the bulk molecules are transported or absorbed by this process. These are the rapid process as compared to the passive diffusion. So we will discuss about the third stage or the third process of the diffusion. Okay. So third process is the facilitated diffusion. So in case of facilitated diffusion, is the as compared to the passive diffusion, is the similar with the passive diffusion. It also depend on the concentration gradient. But in case of passive diffusion, there is the special types of the proteins are present. Okay, these are the proteins. These are the intrinsic proteins. These are the intrinsic proteins, and also the extrinsic proteins. Extrinsic proteins. These are the special types of proteins is present in the molecular membrane. So these proteins are help or it is act as a carrier to carry the drug molecule from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay, from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. But in case of facilitated diffusion, the word indicate facilitate. That means in case of bulk drugs or the charged drugs, charged molecule are transferred from one compartment to the another compartment, or from one side of the bilateral membrane to the another side of the bilateral membrane. It requires the special types of carriers to transport the drug molecule from the GIT or from the one side to the another side of the membrane. So this transport of this intrinsic or extrinsic proteins is usually are helpful to transport the drugs from one compartment to the another compartment. That's why it's called as the facilitated diffusion. So this diffusion is also depend on the concentration gradient. So in case of facilitated diffusion, is the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Drugs are transferred from the higher concentration to lower concentration. But in case of the facilitated diffusion, the main difference between passive diffusion and facilitated diffusion is where in case of facilitated diffusion, where the intrinsic proteins or extrinsic proteins is used to carry the drug molecule from one compartment to the another compartment. So these are the main difference between the passive diffusion and facilitated diffusion. Okay. So last process of the diffusion or the last process of absorption is the endocytosis. Endocytosis. So in case of endocytosis, they are also divided into the two types. That means the two different processes. First one is the phagocytosis and pinocytosis. So in endocytosis, that means the simply engulfment of the drug molecules by the cell. So engulfment of the drug molecule by the cell. When in case of the bulk drugs, the drugs cannot cross the cell membranes or biological membranes at that time. These bulk drugs are engulfed by the cells itself. Okay. So in case of phagocytosis, that means in case of the solid particles, solid drugs, the cells are eating the drugs. Okay. Suppose they are the drug molecules, then their drug molecules are engulfed by the cell, and then the cells and then release the drugs. release the drug inside the cell, that is the intracellular fluids. Okay, so engulfment of the drug molecule by the cell is called as the endocytosis. So endocytosis process is applicable for the bulk drugs, or it is useful for the bulk drug, those drugs that cannot cross by the bilateral membranes or cannot cross the drug having the larger molecular size. So this type of drugs are absorbed by the endocytosis. So in case of endocytosis, phagocytosis. So phagocytosis is applicable for the solid compounds or solid drugs, or in case of pinocytosis, that means it is the liquid ones. Okay, the drug is the having a liquid properties. Okay, the state is the liquid. The pinocytosis, the word indicate pino, that means the drinking of the cells, drinking of the cell, and phagocytosis, that means the eating of the cells. So these are the four different absorption processes and mechanisms which are used to absorb the drugs or entry of the drugs from the site of administration to the systemic circulation. Where the 100% bioactivity are not achieved in case of the oral or any other route of the administration of drugs. Okay, route of administration of drugs, but only in case of intravenously they achieve the, or it may be achieve the 100% bioactivity. So some of the factors are affecting the rate of absorption. So these are the factors that affect the rate of absorption or the drug absorption. Okay, so in that factor they are the mainly related with the drugs properties, or it depend on the drugs, or also the patients or the persons, it depend on the person or the drugs. Okay, so in case of first factors, they affect the absorption is the particle size. First factor one is the particle size. So in case of particle size, when the smaller the particle, they acquire the larger surface area and then ultimately affect on the absorption. That's why smaller the particle, increase the or greater the absorptions. Okay, so in case of small particle size, the drugs are more and rapidly absorbed as compared to the bulk or the larger molecules or the larger size of the drug. So the particle size is ultimately affect on the absorption. So for example, griseophylline, the particle size is very fine. That's why the absorption of the griseophylline is the more. Okay, so the particle size is also affect on the rate of absorption. Second is the physical state of drugs. Physical state of the drugs. Okay, physical state of drugs, that means the physical state for drug having the solid, liquid or semi-solid properties. Okay, the drug having the solid, liquid or semi-solid ones. Okay, so in case of solid drugs are less or the slow absorbed as compared to the liquid ones. So liquids are the more rapid absorbed as compared to the solid one, and the gaseous is more absorbed than the liquid ones. So these are the physical state is also affect on the absorption. Next one is the pH of the drugs. pH of drugs. So pH of drug, that means the acidic drugs is more absorbed in the stomachs or acidic mediums, and basic drugs is more absorbed in the alkaline mediums. Okay, that means for example, in case of acidic drugs, paracetamol, aspirin, these are acidic drugs, they are rapidly absorbed or the more absorbed into the stomachs in a acidic mediums, and then for example barbiturates, these are the basic drugs, they more absorb in the intestine. So pH is also affect on the absorption of the drugs. So next one is the concentration. Next factor is the concentration. So concentration, higher the concentration of drugs, the absorption rate will be the higher. So it depends on the concentration or the proportional, directly proportional the concentration gradient. So higher the concentration of drugs, it ultimately increase the concentration of the absorption of the drugs. So these are the main factors of rate of absorption. Next one is the next factor is the ionizations. Okay, ionizations, or when the unionized drugs or the non-ionized drugs are more rapidly absorbed as compared to the ionized drugs. Okay, that is when the non-polar drugs is more absorbed as compared to the polar drugs. So the ionizations, the state of ionizations is also important factor to affect on the rate of absorption. Next one is the functional integrity of GAT. Okay, that means in case of GAT, the oral administration of drug goes to the GIT, gastrointestinal tract. When the functional integrity is increased, that means increase the peristalsis movement of the smooth muscle of GIT, it ultimately affect or decrease the rate of absorption. So increase the peristalsis activity, decrease the rate of absorption because the resistance time in between the smooth muscle of the GIT and drugs is the less. That's why the peristalsis is increased, ultimately decrease the absorption. So these are the various factors. Then next factor is the formulation. So formulation. So these are the formulation. That means in case of formulation, large amount of the binders, hardeners are used, or in case of the formulation for the tetracycline, for example, tetracyclines with the calcium and magnesium, like the ions, when formulate with they combinedly formulate, they form a complex or they form a chelate. Okay, that is they form a complex. That's why the calcium or the magnesiums are reduce the absorption of tetracyclines because they form the complex around the tetracyclines. They form a complex or vesicle around the tetracycline, and then they block the or they stop the absorption of the tetracycline. So formulations, in case of formulations, is also important factor to affect the rate of absorption. So these are the detailed study of absorptions. So one of the phase of pharmacokinetics. So absorption is the first phase of the pharmacokinetics, where the drugs are absorbed from the GIT to the system, or from the site of administration to the systemic circulation. So another phase, that means the distribution. In the distributions, the drugs they reaches to the systemic circulation. After that, they are transferred into the various body compartment or into the various body fluids. Okay. Then after first phase of the absorption, third phase of the pharmacokinetics is the metabolism or biotransformation. So in case of biotransformation, they convert the one chemical form into the another chemical form. That means by using the enzymes. So they form a polarized drugs because they easy to excretion, easy for the excretion. So next phase is the excretion, or the last phase of the pharmacokinetics is the excretions. So in case of excretion, that means the removal of the drugs from the body by the various channels like the saliva, lungs, skin, kidney, bile. These are the various channels to excrete the drug or remove the drug from the body. So these are the overall study of the first phase of the pharmacokinetics. So absorptions. Okay, these are the absorption. So in case of next video, we will try to discuss about the distribution, metabolism, and excretion of the drugs. So students, I hope this video is beneficial for you. Then like my YouTube channel SK Pharma Tutorials and share for the, or then subscribe for the further notification, upcoming notification of the my videos. Okay.